Here are 5 reasons you should buy the 2020 27-inch iMac right now. Let's go. Alright, so I hope everyone's doing good. This is just going to be a short video. I did a couple of videos on the new 2020 27-inch iMac that just came out. And what I wanted to do today is just kind of go through 5 reasons if you're kind of on the fence about buying the 2020 27-inch iMac. 5 reasons why you might want to consider buying it right now. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, the new Apple Silicon's coming out soon. Should I wait? You know, this is the last Intel. You hear all these different videos out there. This is the last Intel Mac that they're going to create and all that. So should you really buy it? I mean, are you on the fence? If so, let's just go through 5 of them. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, and then we'll wrap the video up. So stay tuned for all 5. All right, so I'm going to go through all 5 of them, but just keep in mind that the 4th and 5th are a little bit more interesting than the first 3. So the first one I'm going to say is basically we just don't even know when the next iMac, the 27-inch or maybe 32-inch is actually even going to come out. So, without knowing that, you might have at least a year to wait and maybe longer for that. So without even knowing that, if you need a computer like right now, maybe for business or you're stuck at home like I am, you're doing your work from home and stuff like that, do you need a computer right now? That would be number 1. So if you need a computer right now, it's true and tried, very good computer, great screen. It's one of those things where, we just don't know when it's going to come out or how it's going to come out or what's going to be the situation. So go ahead and buy it if you think that's the reason, if you just want to get it because you need it right now. All right, number 2. The number 2 reason I would say to buy the 2020 27-inch iMac right now is really, I think it's the best value of any Mac out there right now. So, and I'm talking the base model. I don't think I would go with like a more advanced model. And I have a couple more reasons why later on as far as what model you should maybe buy. But at the end of the day, I would maybe say like the $1799 model, the base model, and maybe with some upgraded, maybe upgraded SSD or something, and I'll talk about the RAM later. But that's probably the best value of any Mac you can buy right now. Not only does it have the i5, it has an SSD, it has 8 gigs of RAM, it has a dedicated graphics card, has a beautiful 5K screen. So I would say that's one of the reasons why I think, that's the best one that you can buy right now. And so that's the number 2 reason. Buy the best Mac you can buy at this time. There's nothing else out there right now. It's all speculation. So you might as well buy the one that's out there and it's the best value. It's the 2020 27-inch. All right, the number 3 reason why you should buy this iMac, this new one, is because it's just a true and tried workhorse. I mean, these things work really well. We know about it. I always go and tell people, you never want to buy the first version of anything, right? When a new car comes out, you don't want to buy the first version of that car because it usually has a ton of problems. So let's just assume that this new iMac comes out, let's say it's even a little bit larger, there's not as many bezels. Let's say it comes out in a year. Let's say that thing has a ton of problems or the software is not exactly perfect, and it takes maybe a year or 2 even further to get to a version that you actually trust. So do you really want to buy the first version of that, or do you want to buy something that's true, tried, and tested, which is this design, cooling, everything in this, software, Intel chips, or do you want to buy that kind of thing can be the experiment? So that's one of the reasons why, my number 3 reason why you'd want to buy this. All right, another reason why you might want to buy the 2020 27-inch right now is if you plan on selling it maybe in 3 to 4 years. So let's say you're one of those people like me that likes new technology. I don't want to hold on to it for maybe 8 or 9 years. Then it gives you time to actually see what comes out in a year or so and then get past that first iteration, and then you can go ahead and sell it. And a lot of people may say, why am I going to sell it? Well, again, technology changes, and the beauty of the iMac is you can sell it for a lot of money. Now keep in mind that, you may not be able to sell it as, usually in 2 or 3 years you could sell these for 80% almost, 80% of the value. Maybe with the Intel to Apple Silicon it's going to change a little bit, but let's just say you can sell it for 50 to 60% of the cost. Now that thing's only costing you like what, $800 or $900 over 3 or 4 years, so you're talking maybe $300 a year. So is it a huge risk for you when you can turn around? I mean, that screen is valuable in itself. People are always going to buy that 5K screen, so you're never going to get less than at least 50% back, I'm guessing. So go ahead and make the decision based off of that, but that's my number 4 reason. All right, the 5th reason is probably the biggest reason for me, and stay tuned for this because this is the reason that I think a lot of people should buy this unit. This is a unit that you can actually upgrade the RAM. The 27-inch iMacs in the back, it's one of the last Apple, I think the last Apple computer you can upgrade the RAM on. And Apple RAM, and I'll show you some examples of this, but Apple RAM can get ridiculously expensive. And that RAM means, you could spend $2,000 just on RAM if you need a lot of RAM, like 64 gigs, 128, those type of amounts of RAM in your computer, gigabytes. So what I recommend is if you're someone that doesn't really, again, care about the design and you use it for work and you want to just get like video production done right now and stuff like that, and you need a lot of RAM, this might be the only version you can get your own RAM. So you buy this unit for $17.99, you maybe upgrade the SSD or what have you, but then you go ahead and buy a ton of RAM from outside source, install it yourself, and save, literally thousands of dollars. I'm guessing the new version that comes out of the iMacs, they're probably going to take that feature away. That feature isn't on the 21.5, it's only on the 27-inch iMac, and the only reason I think it's been there is because they haven't changed the design in like 8 years. So I think they're going to change that. I mean, if they get any chance to take that away from us, I think they will. So this is your last chance to get something that you can actually change the RAM and add a boatload of RAM for a little bit of cost. And that's, so if that's important to you because of what you do for work or just video editing or music production, then get this. I mean, who cares? I mean, it still looks good and it still performs really well. So, and sell it in a couple of years. That's my take on it. And then really quickly, just to show you that I'm not crazy. So let's say you wanted a lot of RAM on your Mac. This is on Apple's website right now. So going up to 16 gigs of RAM from 8 is $200. Look at this. Going to 32 gigabytes is $600, 64, $1,000, and then 128 is $2,600. So if you're somebody that needs one of these things here, see $1,000, $2,600 additional. That's more than the computer itself. Crazy. I would recommend going over here. I always go to OWC. This is a great site here. It's called, you guys can look it up, but it basically sells a lot of Mac stuff. Let's just go to the 64 gig memory kit. So for this exact computer, you can get it here for $268.99. And again, the 2020 27-inch lets you replace it yourself. So that's $268.99. Let's go back to Apple. $1,000. So you save, whatever, $750 if you go that route. And then let's go to the 128 here. So 128 gigs. It's only $5.99 on this website if you do it yourself, and it takes 2 seconds. And just open up the back of the machine and pop it in. And then let's go back. So that's $600 versus $2,600. So you save $2,000 going that method. Is it worth it? All right. So what did you think? Just 5 really basic things like I promised. I mean, again, it's a really good machine. I highly recommend getting one if you're on the fence with it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people say you shouldn't, but I listed some reasons why you might want to think about it, and definitely go through the pros and cons. Again, it really comes down to like, my thing is like, are you one of those people that wants to keep things 8-10 years or something? These are going to work fine. I mean, they're not going to maybe be getting the same updates in maybe 6 years or so, but other Macs don't either. Like a lot of Macs maybe last 6 or 7 years, and then they all of a sudden fall out of the newest software. So I mean, it's one of those things, if you're one of those people that like me that likes to change up technology and stuff every at least maybe 4 years, then it's a no-brainer. I mean, you can definitely pick this up. It's going to work fine. You're not going to have any problems with it. The other one may look better. Everything's always going to look better, the year after you buy it. Everything's going to be faster the year after you buy it. But again, you can change the RAM in these things. You know they work. You're not buying the first version of something that may not work right away. And you're getting something that just works with a dedicated graphics card. So at the end of the day, I recommend it. And if you guys watch my channel, I do a lot of videos on Apple and PC and a whole bunch of technology. So definitely subscribe if you can. Give me the thumbs up. Helps the channel grow. Talk to you soon.